Okay guys, so I just ordered what's called a Pso-Rite, and it's this little plastic contraption that you lay on that is supposed to help you release the psoas muscle, which is often really tight for a lot of people that sit and runners and other things like that. And as you well know, if you're watching this video, that I don't shut the f up about the back pain I have. And I heard on a few podcasts, one with Joe, I think our washer's gonna explode. All right. I heard on Joe Rogan's podcast first about it, and they talked a lot about it and how beneficial it was, and I was a little skeptical. And after a while, I did a lot more reading on the psoas, and I thought maybe that might be part of what's going on with myself. So I ordered one to try it out, and it just got delivered. So I'm gonna give you my honest first impressions, and then we'll go from there. Very humble box here. All right, I'm gonna try and do this with one hand, so wish me luck. Grab it with my monkey feet. Okay, got it all packaged up here with a little info card and a little warnings and restrictions. Yes, all right. This product is not a medical device. Read and follow all warnings and information before using this product. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is it. Honestly, pretty basic. Here is a next to my head comparison for size. It's smaller than I thought. I definitely thought that this was gonna be bigger based off the pictures online. But a lot of the reviews said, why does this cost so much for just being a piece of plastic? And then they followed it up by saying it's totally worth the price. Supposedly this does the job for being a hunk of plastic. So I'm gonna try this out. I'll put it on the ground here. Ignore my extremely dirty carpet. Let's see, I'm gonna go straight for this guy. Psoas. So it looks like it's just kind of on his hips there. All right. I don't know how to tell if I'm on it. Hard to tell. I've never worked my psoas before, so struggling with figuring out if I'm on it. Oh, I'm gonna bet that's it. Oh yeah, yeah. It's like right below your. Okay, so I'm gonna lay on this for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. I'll be right back because it's a little painful. Okay, so honestly, I wasn't totally sure if I was hitting it, so I looked up a video to make sure I knew what to do right. So this is what I found.
Your psoas muscle can be a source of lower back pain because it attaches to the lumbar spine. It may cause pain and discomfort in this area.
That's exactly where my back hurts. Right there. That's exactly it.
Pain may also be felt in the front of the hip because this is also where the psoas is attached.
I also have that sometimes.
The Pso-Rite can be used to provide myofascial release to the affected psoas muscle. To begin, place the Pso-Rite on the psoas muscle and lay on it, supporting yourself with your arms. Stay in this position until the tenderness begins to subside and you feel the muscle release.
Okay, so he's like way farther up than I was. I was below the waist, like where the hip flexors were. Almost looks like it's like right below his belly button. Okay, so he just goes on to say, if it hurts, don't force it. It's good to stretch afterwards. Okay. But actually, I'm gonna look up another video about the anatomy, because I'm kind of confused about where the muscle is located now, because I thought I had an idea in my head, but clearly I'm wrong. So I think this might be a good thing to know.
Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Oh, this is going to be good. I cannot wait for this.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
And
therapist.
together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Kind of went like this, Brad. I don't know where you look.
Well, there's something behind Lonnie. I couldn't
Oh.
quite tell.
All right, well, and by the way, we also see some other new people out
Yes,
there, Brad.
we
In case
do.
you're new to our channel.
Three
please-
of them today, Bob.
Please take a second to subscribe to us. Our subscription button is over here or down here, depending if you're on your phone. So it's actually a very big, strong muscle, Brad.
Oh, yeah.
And I've only showing one side. All right, this actually is on both sides, and it attaches down to the lesser trochanter of the femur. But it attaches to these side bones here and onto the side of the vertebrae and the discs themselves.
So it's attaching to the low spine, the low back.
Right, the low back. So and then it attaches down here. So can you see if this is a tight muscle? Can you see how it's going to squeeze all these bones together, Brad?
Yeah,
and
maybe we can look at it from a profile.
Sure.
Okay, so I think the Pso-Rite is coming in like this. And it's going through your gut and your ab muscles, and it's loosening it this direction. Does that make sense? Or like on the Pso-Rite, and it's coming in and it's getting it like that. Okay, so before I was doing it, I think I was doing it, I was kind of like down here, maybe. I don't know if that's the appropriate way. I think that's a lot wider than the Pso-Rite is. The Pso-Rite's got more of like a narrow width to it, so it'd make more sense why it's up there. Okay, then they go on to do a bunch more, but I think that pretty much answers my question. I think I know what I need to know now. So let's go try this thing out. Okay, round 2, here we go. Still kind of hard to find it. All right, give me 5 minutes and I'll figure this out. Okay, so I think I found the spot. She's tender, that's for sure. Trying to breathe. I'm laying on this thing for probably about 15 minutes. It was kind of hard to figure out, honestly. I think you need to have a pretty decent understanding of your body and what it needs and figuring out the areas you need to lay on. Even after watching those videos, it still didn't quite feel like I could find the spot. So what I ended up doing was switching so I could just sort of lay on one side of it instead of just right down the middle. And that kind of allowed me a little more control over getting it where I needed. I definitely feel like a little more loose, pretty similar to when I lay on a lacrosse ball for a really long time. But what I think I'm gonna do is try this out all week, every day, and then do some final thoughts about how it makes me feel long-term in that sense. So I'm stuck at home for the Corona quarantine, and I've got nothing else to do but that. Check back with you in a little bit. Okay, so I have been using this just about every day for a little over a week. I normally come outside every morning, do a little bit of a stretch routine. And this guy has been a interesting addition. My initial thoughts are I definitely can tell a difference on when I use it versus a day that I don't, because there's a couple days that I forgot. And so I definitely feel looser and less tight, but it wasn't like a huge difference like I was hoping it was. I thought I was gonna really feel like a drastic difference. My guess is that maybe the psoas isn't the predominant issue in my case. There's other things going on, but it certainly is a component of days that I feel really tight and get that extra back pain. I do think that there's value in this. The biggest thing being is these guys work really well to get into crevices that you normally can't. I am a huge proponent of using a lacrosse ball for muscle smashing. I do it like every day and it helps me a ton. But crossball can be a little bit limited in terms of the depth that you can get into things. So that's why this is really good. It'll get in there. It'll get real deep. Like, I think it's worth it. I definitely think it's something I'm going to start using a lot more in terms of getting my body back on track. Everybody else online, all the reviews seems to really like it. So if you're having back pain or just want another tool to try get into muscle areas and loosen them up, I think you should check it out. Those are my thoughts. Thanks for stopping by.